Okay, guys. So, welcome this afternoon to this final session about the fourth model about audiovisual and media education. Today we have with us Professor Beatriz Villarejo. She holds a PhD in education from the University of Barcelona and a postdoctoral researcher in the EduCart team at the University of Deusto. And she has participated in several competitive projects and has published many scientific journals of impact in education. Mainly, her lines of research are focused on the preventive sorry, but this word, socialization of online GBB and adolescents, in addition to social inclusion, democratic participation of vulnerable groups, and education improvement. So, I just want to give a warm welcome to Bea to this Zoom. Hello, Bea, how are you?
How are you? Thank you. Thank you. How are you for everybody? I can't share
Yes, I
record.
am going to
Okay.
transfer now the administration to you so you can. Okay.
Now.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can see my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So before we start, I'm just going to say that I'm going to leave the session today, and you will be with Bea. So please try to participate. So this is not too too plain, too boring. And if you need anything, you can always write us through mail or through WhatsApp. So thank you guys, and we see you next week.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you,
Beatriz.
Bea.
And good afternoon, everyone. Today we will work on Module 4, audiovisual and media education, cultural education TV, and media and information literacy. And to begin with, let's take an overview of today's society and the importance of media literacy. In all periods of life, we are consciously or unconsciously connected with technology from early childhood through middle childhood, teens, teenagers, emerging adulthood, young adulthood, middle adulthood, and older adulthood. Everyone was contact to a greater or lesser extent with information and communication technology from traditional TV, tablets, physical, the toys, AI assistants, a different application on phones or other devices such as virtual reality headsets. We consume different content through all advice, such as advertising, propaganda, video games, films, and series, among others. While consuming, we also share data and information about ourselves. These situations occurs in people's daily lives, and the enthusiasm to get to know this new content is born while we are concerned about them. From informal education refers to a lifelong learning process whereby individual acquires attitudes, values, skills, and knowledge from their environment's educational influence and resource and daily experience. From formal education, the action or process of educating or being educated, also a stage of such a process. And no formal education, non-formal education refers to planet structured programs and process of personal and social education for young people designed to improve a range of skills and competencies outside the formal educational curriculum. And therefore, media education has to look at all three forms of lifelong learning. Okay. Um. Okay. I was okay now. The field of psychology has long acknowledged the positive impact of preventing personal agencies and the ability to shape outcomes through our actions, leading to improved well being. Conversely, consistently feeling powerless can pose a threat towards overall welfare. In various aspects of the digital realm, adolescents exhibit noticeable difficulties in achieving a sense of control. This struggle becomes apparent as they grapple with regulating their digital habits amidst compelling design influence and developmental sensitivities. Instances such as the pressures to main Snapchat streak highlights the challenge they face in engaging in ongoing exchange they may not genuinely desire. And the two publications we see on the screen show this evidence. Bandura talks about the social cognitive theory, while Peterson and College studied the theory for the age of personal control. In their study they point out that when experience with uncontrollable events gives rise to the expectation that events in the future will also elude control, disruptions in motivation, emotion, and learning may ensue. Learned helplessness refers to the problems that arise in the wake of uncontrollability. So, the capacity to exercise control over the nature and quality of one's life is the essence of humanness. Human agency is characterized by a number of core features, features that operate through phenomenon and functional consciousness. These include the temporal extension of agency through intentionally and or through self-regulation but self-reactive influence and self-relativeness about one's capabilities, quality of functioning, and the meaning and purpose of one's life pursuits. Personal agencies operate within a broad networks of sociocultural influence. In these agentic transactions, people are producers as well as product of social system. Social cognitive theory distinguish among three modes of agencies: direct personal agency, proxy agencies that relies on other to act and on one's behest to secure desired outcomes, and collective agencies exercised through socially. Coordinate an interdependence effort. Okay, growing transnational vividness and interdependence are placing a premium on collective efficacy to exercise control over personal destinies and national life. Katie Davis is associate professor at the University of Washington's Information School adjunct associate professor. And this she investigates the impact of digital technology on young people learning, development, and well-being, and co-design positive technology experience for young and their families. In her last book, this technology, child, digital media's roles in the age and stage of growing up, she asks herself, what happened to children of various age from the very young teenagers, when technology becomes an integral part of their lives into their work. Her academic work provides clear insights into the impact of technology on child development. Even better, it offers practical advice on how to use this knowledge to help children of all age maximize their digital experience. As technology becomes ubiquitous, it profoundly influences the development of children from toddlers exploring their immediate surroundings to young adults finding their place in society. And Katie Davis growing on her expertise in developmental science and design research, explore the complex interaction between child development and technology design. She considered how this interaction is further complicated by individual characteristics, social factors, and cultural context. Importantly, Davis emphasized the importance of self-direct technology experience, ones that are initiated, sus- sustained, and ended voluntarily. As they report a healthy child development, particularly within a supportive community. On the screen, you can see a quote from the research in which she points out that young children, young children learn to regulate their actions and emotions, self-regulation, yeah, hold information in their heads for short periods of time, working memory, and switch words and adjust their behavior according to situational change, cognitive flexibility. Self-regulation is an element that we develop throughout our life and which is particularly important in first years of life. It is therefore important that media content and technology allow for this self-regulation. However, the researchers points out that few application and media content allow allows this self-regulation. Therefore, adults are important in educating about this technology and guiding children to have a positive digital experience. Katie Davy is also the director of the Digital Youth Lab. In her lab, you can keep up to date with emerging research related to children. One example is this issue of the relationship between artificial intelligence assistant and children. I will discuss the research later in this presentation. And the lab has very interesting studies that I recommended to keep up to date on children's and technology. Relationship with the environment, such as family, friends, teachers, and people in the community are important for the socialization and learning that people, especially young children. Yeah? And technology is a socializing agent. It is important in to understand the technology with children and the older people, yeah, of course. Tarleton Gillespie is a senior principal researcher at the Microsoft Research New England, part of the social media collective. Microsoft Research team of sociologists, anthropologists, and communication media scholars studying the importance of socio-technical system and social and political life. Tarleton also retains an affiliate association professor position with Cornell University. He wrote articles, algorithm, clickboard workers, and be model query around Facebook trends, in which he pointed out how technology is not neutral. Yeah? The application or connections are designed by people who often want to capture a person's attention. When it comes to minors, companies should set limits, but studies show that these limits are not respected. They often play music to attract the attention of minors or create algorithms to get minors hooked on audiovisual content, such as autoplay, for example, in Netflix is possible or YouTube. Yeah, the like button, this disappearing photo on Snapchat, Instagram filters, Twitter's silences detection algorithms, TikTok for for, for this the algorithms of the TikToks. Yeah. Um, why? While the television may appear updated in 2023, it remains the primary medium for children aged 0 to 8. Yeah, to engage with media, whether on traditional screens, tablets, or smartphones, using platforms like cable television, Netflix, or YouTube. Throughout TV history, concerns about its impact on children have persisted. It's indeed disconcerting to witness a young child sitting motionless in front of the TV screen as opposite to their usual active state. This raises the question, what is happening here? Hmm? The way children and even adults pay attention to TV differs from how we attend the other elements in our surroundings. When something unexpected in our environment captures our attention effortlessly, we are employing automatics bottom-up attentional process. On the other hand, the police is near to me. On the other hand, the activities like reading a book or making a shopping list involve deliberate top-down process, and to be predominantly relies on bottom-up process by utilizing visual and auditory effects, as well as incorporating surprising or fantastical event. In other words, it captivates our attention and guides us through the view experience without requiring significant effort on our part. Conversely, executive functions entails employing top-down attentional process. The theory suggests that excessive TV viewing may lead us to rely more on automatic and bottom-up process. Um, okay. Courses on technology and education, such as one in the article you see on the screen called Media Violence. The effects are both real and strong of how people learn, brain, mind experience, and school shows that educational content is preferred over content that emphasizes entertainment and not violent. The second one is not violent content is superior to violence content, and content targeted towards children is more favorable than content intended for adults. What sort of content is my child watching? Yeah, the research may by somewhat model here, but it does suggest that parents avoid violence and seek all directed programming that incorporates opportunities for learning. For instance, educational show like Sesame Street, you know Sesame Street is international showing on the world, yeah? You know it, yeah? Okay. Sesame Street can support children's literacy development, particularly children in low incomes families. The book G is for growing. There are another one, but this book represents a comprehensive compilation and analysis of significant research and studies conducted since the inception of the program more than 30 years old. It highlights the crucial role that Sesame Street plays in education and socialization of young children. The editors, Fish and Truglio, have both brought together contributions from esteemed academics and research closely associated with Sesame Street, resulting in evaluate resources that explore how educational content and research are integrated into the show's production. This is very interesting because I think um, there are a lot of this combination to make productions. The book extensively reviews major studies on the impact of Sesame Street on children and examines its expansion into different cultures and media platforms. Additionally, the volume delves into broader subjects such as methodological considerations for conducting media-based research with young children and the long-term effects of preschoolers' exposure to educational and non-educational television, and cross-cultural variation in the treatment of educational content by uh, shedding light on the research process behind Sesame Street. G is for growing, stand as the first significant publication on Sesame Street research in over 2 decades. It not only provides values insights into the program's development, but also offers guidelines for integrating research into future educational initiatives. Sesame Workshops, a nonprofit organization who for creating and producing educational children's programming, with Sesame Street being its most famous and influential production. Here is description in this website, yeah, this page. There are different works. For example, there are the public or the families and friends and teacher, they they can't uh, they can um, get a different information, different materials to work at school or at another uh, place. Yeah, and this is interesting because there are information, for example, the autism, the for children have a problems, and the other ones only for learn the numbers, the the letters. There are a lot of information, and it's good to know. And so this media and well-being of children and adolescents bring together leading media scholars and practitioners to present cutting-edge theory and empirical research on the media-related benefits and risks of young development. It examines media's role in the everyday lives of young people and their families, considering both traditional media such as television and film and new digital media, such as video games, mobile phones, and the internet. One, uh, one of their conclusions is that the media have positive or negative effects on the well-being of adolescents and children. Yes, it's a good point because this is important because there are a technology is bad or is good. This is a question, yeah, and this is possible. You have to see what is the use the different content and what is this content designed. Yes, they are both. However, they show up that despite their expertise in crafting, captivating, and groundbreaking content for young audience, creators of media targeting youth often lack formal training in child development. This is an area where assistance is needed. Equality important policymaker requires reliable information to inform evidence-based decision-making that address parental concerns, acknowledge producers' rights, and prioritize the health and well-being of children. With this collaborative approach, well-being of children. With this collaborative approach is mine. We anticipate ongoing cooperation among research, child development specialists, media producers, and policymakers as we navigate and process in the dynamic era of hyperconnected media. And yeah, research such that of this as okay, this is that this important because this important design digital products to enhance children experience of using this media. This as that this important to read because when you have or you make something, you um, the technology. This is important. Limit the use of distracting and superfluous elements even if they have an educational purpose. Avoid the science techniques that manipulate the parasocial relationships and prioritize engagement at the expenses of child well-being. Ensure that navigate to an interface is easier to doesn't require excessive cognitive or physical efforts. Encourage top-down rather than the bottom-up form of attention, allowing children to determine the pace of the interactions. Provide facilities for girls and boys to involve others, yeah, mother, fathers, family in general in their use of screen media. Give children and their media, their families control over how and when to end the interaction. Yes, parents and teachers should also be aware of this list in order to promote a knowledge and be critical of the apps and the content that children play with. Teachers can play a vital role in helping students develop a strategy to cope with digital stress. This may include teaching them techniques such as muting notification to manage the constant influx of information and reduce distractions. In general, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Katie Davis in the figure bring these components together into a model of developmentally supportive digital experience. On the left are the three themes In the best of the circumstance, they give rise to self-directed, community-supported digital experience, which are shown in the center. On the right, yeah, are the three dimensions of a healthy development, a sense of ownership and initiative, feelings of competence and mastery, and a sense of belonging and connection that are made possible when technology experiences are self-directed and community support. Now that we know that developmentally supportive digital experience look like, let's consider how those who have an impact on a child's development can make this positive experience the rule rather than the exception for technology child. In relation can yeah in relation with um, this research, there are um, therefore socially incontingent interaction, whether online or offline, are particularly supportive of children's early literacy development. So the caregivers play an important role in supporting the children's emerging literacy skills, knowing their children as well as they do. Caregivers instantly tailors their speech, observation, storytelling, and reads loads to their children's distinct temperament, present experiences, relationships, and preferences. These types of personalized, socially embedded literacy experience are an important part of that of what makes parent support so crucial to their children's early literacy development. This concept has also been studied by further research. The research titled Skype Me Socially Contingent Interaction Helps Toddlers Learn Language emphasizes that language acquisition occurs with the context of social interactions through the specific mechanism from which social interaction facilitate language learning remain unclear. This study, this study especially investigate whether social contingents contributes to word learning. The participants were toddlers between 24 um, and 30 months of age who were exposed to the novel birds under three conditions: live interaction training and socially contingent video training through video chat, and no contingent video training. The findings indicate that children only learn the novel birds in socially contingent interactions, such as live interactions and video chat. This study underscores the significance of social contingents in facilitating language learning during interaction and contributes to the existing literature on learning through screen media. It is the first studies to explore word learning through video chat technology. So, children's learn early children's early literacy development greatly benefits from especially dependent interactions, whether they occur in digital or physical environments. About adults, yeah, about adults and technology, it has been found that interactions between adults and technology increase digital literacy. The study, which is in Spain, is in Spanish, show that older uh, people with low levels of education or low incomes, continues to be at risk of digital exclusion. Hmm? Based on Spanish case studies, the results of the European project is the DGAP interactive groups of digital inclusion through international dialogue. This is our Erasmus Plus, which aim to increase the acquisition of digital skills among these vulnerable groups were analyzed. The results show a substantial improvement in the European Europass frameworks, and even with indicators that have extended the average of OECD countries, this finding reinforces the importance of implementing the successful education actions of interactive groups. For example, this is a practice as a measure that accelerates learning in digital competencies while generating a real space for integrational solidarity and active aging. Um, so, um, the media literacy, yeah, this is important for create a well-being, and there about all the vulnerable groups. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Professor Rene Hobbs is American teachers and research is international. Yeah, recognized authorities on digital and media literacy education, and Hobbs has worked to advance the quality of digital and media literacy education in the United States and around the world. She's founded and directed the Media Education Lab, whose mission is to improve the quality of media literacy education through research and community service. In her last book, Renee presents a graph illustrating the various competencies that need to be addressed within the realm and media literacy. Having a media literacy competencies allows individuals to identify biased information present in their surroundings, and media literacy hence personal autonomy and fosters deeper appreciation for high education, high quality media. Autonomy is a crucial aspect of being media literate, as it empowers individuals to think independently without relying solely on the interpretation and opinions of others. The graph depicts a range of broad competence, mindset, and skills associated with digital and media literacy. By regarding the book and hanging in the recommend learning activities, you will activate these competencies. The graph highlights some of the current digital and media literacy skills in today information-driven technology-centric works environments. Proficiency in reading and writing, both in print and online, is more vital than ever. Yeah? A strong, a strong reading comprehension and writing abilities are instrumental in advancing one's career. Regarding on reading also play a significant role in home and family life. Informal literacy practices such as engagement with social media and interacting with loved ones involve regarding and responding. Yeah, social media platform have facilitated group collaboration and community dialogue, and necessitating the use of regarding and written skills within family and social relationships. For instance, when texting with friends and relatives, written and reading practices come into play. Yeah? Considering these factors, it becomes evident that media literacy encompasses a broader understanding of literacy as a whole. Mm. The information on the website, yeah, this is digital competence frameworks, the DIGCOM, yeah, this is a DIGCOM developed by the joint research, yeah, the Joint Research Center of the European Commission. The DIGCOM frameworks is a reference tool that aims to help individuals, organizations, and education systems understand and develop digital competencies. The framework is based on 5 areas of digital competencies. The first area, information and data literacy, refers to the ability to search, evaluate, and critically assess digital information, as well as manage and interpret data. Within this area is the browsing, searching, and filtering data, information, and digital content. Yeah, evaluating data, information, and digital content, and managing data, information, and digital content. And the second area is communication and collaboration. Yes, involve using digital tools and technologies to communicate, collaborate, and participate in online communities effectively. Within this area is the interacting through digital technology, sharing through digital technology, engaging in citizenships through digital technology, collaborating through digital technology, etiquette, and managing digital identity. Yeah. The third area, yeah, digital content creation. This focuses on the skills needed to create and edit digital content, such as multimedia presentation, websites, or blogs. This area includes developing digital content, integrating and elaborating digital content, copyright and license programming. Yeah, and the fourth area, safety. Yeah, this encompasses the knowledge and skills necessary to protect oneself and the others in digital environments, including online privacy, data security, and responsible use of technology. Within these areas are protecting device, protecting personal data and privacy, protecting health and well-being, and protecting the environment. Yeah. And this five and the last, the problem solving refers to the ability to identify, analyze, and solve digital problems using appropriate digital tools and resources. Within this area are solving technical problems, identify needs, and technological response creatively using digital technologies, and identifying digital competencies gaps. The DIGCOM frameworks provides a detailed description of each areas of competencies, including proficiency levels, ranking from basic to advanced. Yeah, this is important to search this page because there are a lot of information for these competencies. And much of research on children and technology is conducted within academic settings, but non-profit organizations also play a crucial role in this area. Child advocacy organizations such as Sesame Workshop, Common Sense Media, Fred Rogers Center, World Economic Forum, UNICEF, yeah, the United Nations, and the Five Rights Foundation in the UK are actively involved in generating research insights, providing the science recommendation and fluency policies, discussions, These organizations contribute, evaluate perspective and expertise to the ongoing dialogue surrounding children's interaction with technology. In the case of Common Sense Media, is a non-profit organization dedicated to promoting safe and responsible technology used for children and educators. And they provide a range of resource tools and programs to support digital citizenships and media literacy in educational settings. At the core of Common Sense works is their education program, which offers a comprehensive curriculum and resource for educators to teach digital citizenship skills. The curriculum covers topics such as internet safety, privacy, cyberbullying, information literacy, and responsibly online behavior. It's designed to improve and empower students to make informed decisions and gauge responsibility in digital world. Common Sense Media also provides a platform called Common Sense Education, which offers reviews and ratings for education and technology tools, apps, and websites. And this evaluation helps educators and parents make informed decisions about the appropriateness and educational values of digital results. Um, yeah, and Common Sense has become a trusted source of information and guidance for education parents and policymakers seeking to navigate the complexities of technology in children's life. There are a lot of behind this Common Sense media. There are a lot of academic of Harvard University, yeah, and it's interesting because apply the research in this foundation for improve um, the knowledge and the well-being of children. Yeah, and this document, the document of Common Sense and the project PSET is the Harvard, belong to Harvard University. Yeah? In this document, teaching digital sense in today's world, the approach is centered on supporting young people in developing the skills and attitudes necessary to become responsible digital citizens. The Common Sense Media endorse the Rings of Responsibility frameworks, which encourage students to consider the consequence of their choice and on themselves and others in their immediate and broader communities. To cultivate these skills and attitudes, they advocate for effective pedagogical practice. This includes using thinking routines and engagement students in authentic activities and presenting them with digital dilemmas. This is essential, I think, to empower young people to leverage digital life's positive opportunities, including learning, social connections, identity exploration, and civic participation. Emily Weinstein and Carrie James, professor of Harvard and members of Project Zero, in their book Behind the Screens, What Teens Are Facing, they draw on a multi-year project that surveyed more than 3,000 3,000 or more teens to help grown-ups understand the complicated nature of teens' online lives. The authors highlights that teenagers are particularly inclined to seek and evaluate social validation as they try to find their place within their social circles. Their biological sensitivity to social feedback makes them more susceptible to the alert of social media platform, which offer constant access to likes and positive comments. Additional, the capacity of self-regulation and impulse control is still developing during the teenagers' years, making it even more challenging for them to disconnect from this platform. But we must go forget that we are not the adolescents. So it's important to count on the adolescents for this education and to know their perceptions, their needs, their fears. They have a lot of things, yes, etc. We must accompany and be alert to experiences of the youngest children. One of the current concerns of adults towards technology and children is related to artificial intelligence assistant. Yeah, the emerging research parenting with Alexa, exploring the introduce to a smart speakers of on family dynamics was published in 2021. While these results indicate that children perceive Siri, differently than they do people, there is still the possibility that interaction with an assistant may impact children's communication habits in subtle ways, such as their use of language or tone when speaking to others. Yeah? Nevertheless, many children want to experience new things with their families, so the research suggests that designers could develop collaborative experience to help children learn new skills. Research from MIT, yeah, and the University of California in their book Algorithm Rights and Protection for Children show up that in the three internet users worldwide is a child, and what children see and experience online is increasingly shaped by algorithms. So children's rights and protections are at the center of the debates on digital privacy, safety, the internet governance. The dominant online platform haven't been constructed with the needs and interests of children in mind. The authors focus on understanding diverse children's evolving relationships with algorithms, the digital data, and platforms. They also offer guidance on how stakeholders can shape these relationships to support children's agency and protect them from harm. They include in this book and this research reporting original research on educational programs in artificial intelligence, relational robots, and scratch programming. Yes, it's a program of belong to MIT. Children's view on digital privacy and artificial intelligence and discusses around education and technology. Okay, and this is UNESCO report. This is a thing critically clicked recently. Okay, it's a pioneering curriculum that presents a comprehensive frameworks for media and information literacy. It offers pedagogical suggestions and detailed modules to navigate the complex communication ecosystem of today. The curriculum aims to integrate media and information literacy with education for sustainable development, cultural literacy, and the exponential growth of of information. By utilizing this curriculum, individuals can become media and information literate and act as peer education in program, promoting media and information literacy. Yeah? And in this document, yeah, in this document you can insert different models for working the media literacy, such as model for media and information literacy, competencies to tackle misinformation, disinformation, and hate speech. Yeah, and in defense of pro truth, seeking and peace, and model 6 presenting media and information, highlighting in gender equality. Module 8, privacy, data protection, and you, Module 9, internet opportunities and challenge. Module 10, advertising and media and information. Literacy. Module 11, artificial intelligence, social media, and new competencies. And 12, and the last, digital media, games, and traditional media. It's an interesting document that can help you in your work as educators and or communicators. Yeah, and this is all. Yeah, this is my presentation. I finished. I will talk about with you about these issues. If you are ready, you have a questions or okay. Do you have a questions about
Thank you very
that?
much. Yes, I have one
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
So, all of these resources, books, and the UNESCO and everything, I think they're very applicable to European setting or very
Mm.
developed countries. But what if you talk about like third world countries, for example? Do you have any opinions how we should approach the media literacy for kids there?
In the other countries, for example, in no
For example,
west
gl gl
countries, yeah,
or like global South countries in general, like Africa or something like that.
yeah. I think if you know the, Paulo Freire, this is an important pedagogical and research of education. Yeah, um, doesn't matter because the critical thinking is important in all the world. Yeah, because when you work, for example, in Africa, the people know know a lot of things of the powers so open, you know it, no. And I think the critical thinking is you can apply in all the world, yeah, in Asia and other things, but it's possible, yeah. There are different of cultures, yeah, but all cultures have a capacity to transform and improve their situation, yeah. And Africa have a good potential. It's a good for transforming the power, yeah. And this is doesn't matter the country. It is important. You have the question is what is the power? Because, for example, you live in a country with a war, yeah, now, and your life depends. You have to shut your mouth,
Mhm.
yeah. Why there are other the police in United States now, yeah, it's the same, yeah. Um, you can say something, but it's
Mhm.
possible on all the history there are a resistance of the power, yeah. And the American is positive to apply critical thinking now, yeah. In Africa, yeah. In Asia, yeah, yeah. This in Europe too, yeah, because now there are a lot of things you have to ask with children, Yeah, for example, the war, but this is Ukraine, what is the other people immigration, but yeah, and there are a lot of things in the media, on the TV. Yeah, you you have to wake up this spirit. Yeah, I think
Hmm.
it's applying, but it's important. The country there are different laws and different
Yeah,
situations, but you can apply. Mm.
very much. Thank you.
Another question. You work with children or with adult people in education? No?
I research. I also do my PhD here, and I research kids in Catalonia, how they
Yeah?
talk about gender with their parents.
The genders in here in Catalonia
Yeah,
and the other, yeah.
yeah.
Interesting, yeah. There are difference or no?
That's what I'm trying to understand if there's a difference because I research Russian-speaking families
Yeah?
and how these two different gender systems, w- exist together, and how parents explain these things to kids or
Mm-hmm.
teachers explain these things because it's a very different approach.
And the other ones? Lily or Rahman?
Hello, hello,
Oh,
Professor. Um, um, I have a question about and my children is first grade primary school,
mm-hmm.
and sometimes the homework is to use the digital, but the
Mm-hmm.
problem is I don't know how to balance her homework and use the digital. For me, I find in China many people like to see the short videos like Douyin, TikTok, or
Yeah?
Note, and uh, not
哎，
写的. She said from the TikTok, Douyin, China Douyin.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's
Mm,
different in China than the other parts of the world. Yeah, I have a article about a comparison with China and about COVID, and we this is with a Chinese mate. This is Weibo and Twitter. Yeah, and this different because there are dictatorship sorry, but there are a dictatorship and there are other situation laws and other things, yeah, but I think when I start uh, in China is possible is more secure than Europe, yeah, yeah, because there are a regulation about that are more specific, but the other ones, yeah, there are other problems, yeah, when this is freedom, yeah, the speech about freedom, yeah. And I think there are a lot of in primary. I have a child, and I have one child, and there are a lot application is possible improve the skills. Yeah, for example, exists Han Academy. This is American, yeah, and it's possible regulate the different activities, yeah, for learn letters, numbers, a lot of things, yeah, and it's important how to use, no, how to use this these apps, this technology. is at home with activities for the school, yeah, and this as well, yeah, and you use TikTok only for entertainment, and entertainment, there are dangerous borders, yeah, you have to speak. You have to speak, and for example, it's possible there are in education and communication there are application of code words. Yeah, it's important code words. At the same time, there is adults, the screen, and their children. Yeah, and you talk about what is it? No, explain something. Yeah, and you explain because this demonstrates when you work or you speak about your child at the same time, it's possible the child improve the conscience of the risk and know more of regulation of the safety. This is there are different research demonstrate that. Yeah, and it's important. For example, the copy words. This content, I think, is Sonia Livingstone. Do you know it? UK. In UK, there are, is a great research about that. This process is important to the interaction of the child, the adult with child, and the screen. At the same time, you ask, and the children have to, because when the people turn teenagers, yeah, it's harder. It's harder, yes, because there are privacy, there are, I don't know, because my friend is, yeah, you know it, and it's better work in early child or primary. And encourage you, yeah, to make that.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
There are other questions? No? If you have any question or want to continue the debate on the virtual campus, okay? And thank you for hearing me and stay here, yeah? And take care, okay?
Have a nice day.
And bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye to everyone.